I think we can begin now. Okay, so before we go into Anandamaya Kosha, how to understand this Vijnanamaya Kosha, or dropping the intellect. It's like dropping the child to the school for the very first time. You have to drop the intellect. It's like this. When you see a car, is there a car? Is the first thing you need to assess and immediately get that answer. So you should be able to see the broken down or breakdown of something, breakdown in terms of 5 elements. Another example is that you're sitting in a room. There is no room actually, it is space enclosed by walls. So what is enclosed is the space, but what it covered is the wall. Something similar, the space is enclosed by this collection called as kaya, which is the body. So inside is the space, but it looks solid. So you should, or I should, or anybody should be able to get that with anyone whom we meet or anything what we see. And then coming to seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, that also should work the same way. There is nothing called as a language, it's just a sound. There is no sight except for 5 elements. There is no taste except for 5 elements. There is no touch except for 5 elements. And there is no smell except for the 5 element. So that is called as Padartha Abhavana in the Bhumika, 7 Bhumikas of Yoga Vasishtha. So if you are in that stage or in that state forever, then there is no intellect. You are really seeing things as they are, not as they are presented. So these 5 elements are presented as car. The 5 elements are presented as a human being. The 5 elements are presented as dog. The 5 elements are presented as home. The same 5 elements are presented as bank. Like that. So this is the practice one need to do. All the time. All the waking hours, all the dream hours also. So when you see something in the dream, it is again Padartha Abhavana has to be put. So now something is happening in the dream, immediately the dream has to be cut. So you need to bring in the Padartha Bhavana and immediately the dream will go away. There won't be anything you are dreaming. The dream is gone. So the Jagrata Avastha is gone, the Swapna Avastha is also gone. Then we can tackle the Shushupti. That is where the subtle intellect stays. So you have to remove that subtle intellect by questioning who is the sleeper, who is sleeping. And you'll find that there's nobody sleeping. So then you are totally awakened. So you are in Turiya. Any questions on this practice before we go to Anandamaya Kosha? And that is when you get Ananda.
Yeah. Clear.
Okay. And that is the practice. Okay, so we come to 207, Anandamaya Kosha. Ananda Pratibimba Chumbita Tanuhu Vrittihi Tama Ujrimbita Syat Anandamayaha Priyadi Gunakaha Swa Ishtartha Labha Udayaha Punyasya Anubhavi Vibhati Kritinam Ananda Rupaha Swayam Sarvaha Nandati Yatra Sadhu Tanubhrit Matraha Prayatnanam Vina. So this Ananda is nothing but the bliss of the self, chumbita, kissed by a modification that has arisen from tamas. This modification, that is, which is come out of tamas, is Anandamaya Kosha, which has Priya, Moda and Pramoda as its triple qualities, that arises on some gaining of a desired object. It can be any object, from a Spatika Mani experience of Bhatt to getting a promotion to whatever. It's all this only, Priya, Moda, Pramoda. That is why he says Priyadi. Ishthartha Labha Udayaha. So when whatever one desires is got. Punyasya Anubhave Vibhati Kritinam. This is happening only due to good actions and manifest as experienced of such fortunate ones. Ananda Rupaha Swayam. This Ananda comes forth. Sarvaha Nandati Yatra Sadhu. In this state, everyone feels happy and pleased. Tanubhrit Matraha Prayatnam Vina. This happens to all beings, and it happens without the least effort by them. Tanubhrit means little. Matraha, in comparison. So this positive experience of joy and pleasure is an automated signal which is appearing from the self, shining on this Anandamaya Kosha, which is part of Tamoguna. Sattva Guna doesn't have Ananda at all. It sees everything equal. Samatva, there is no pleasure, and not getting it is a pain. Tamas has the ability to project through Rajas and hence seeks pleasure. Then 208 verse Anandamaya Koshasya Shushuptau Spurtihi Utkata Swapna Jagarayoho Ishad Ishta Sandarshana Adina. This bliss is fully manifested in the deep sleep state, and only partially in the dream and waking state. And it is dependent on Ishta Sandarshana, whatever you aspire for, and when that form comes into existence, meaning either as a sight, I see the sight, and the sight has my son, so there is happiness. Sound, I listen to the Carnatic vocal or Carnatic veena and all that, so I love it. So when that is heard, I feel really blissful. Then I am served with the food I love in a place where that normally is not the case. So I feel really happy. I get the smell which I love. The perfume is so nice. The flower or whatever, from there, whatever the smell is coming. The touch which I wanted, and I've got it. So this Ishta Sandarshana Adina, that's dependent on that. And hence, who goes to sleep ignorance goes to sleep. What is ignorance? Anandamaya kosha is ignorance, avidya. And little bit of that ananda is there when a person is in the awakened state from the sleep, when things happen as per his or her wish, which is happening not because he did something about it, because of the punya phala that is happening. And in the swapna, if he says the object what he desired, and he says that my dream came true, so those things are coming from the Anandamaya kosha. And hence Shankara says that na eva ayam anandamaya paratma sopadik katvat prakriti vikarat karyatva hetoh sukrita kriyaya vikaras sanghata samahitavat. The bliss what you are getting can never be the Supreme Self. Sopadikatva prakrite vikarat, because it has the attributes of changing. It is a modification of Prakriti alone. Karyatva hetoho, it has been created as a result of actions. Of what? Sukrita kriyaya, because of the good action done in the past. A minute before, a month before, a day before, a year before, years before, or the past lives. From wherever it has been, that is coming. Vikara sangata samahitatvat, and it lies embedded in the other sheath, which are themselves not the self, because it has all kind of modifications. So Anandamaya kosha is not the self, Vijnanamaya kosha is not the self, Manomaya kosha is not the self, Pranamaya kosha is not the self, Annamaya kosha is not the self. And hence 210th verse talks about Panchanam api koshanam nishedhe yuktitaha shrutehe tannishedha vadihi sakshi bodha rupaha avashishyate. Yeah, but
see this in the 209 sloka. Sopadikatvat prakrite vikarat karyat hetu, and then vikara sangata samahitatvat. So all these are related to Panchabhuta. That is the reason Ananda is coming, not just because of Panchabhuta, because we have done some punyam.
correct.
That punyam, it is expressed through something of this Panchabhuta coming to us in a very sweeter way. Maybe smell is sugandha, taste is very nice food getting, and nice sleep. And wherever I go, whatever I do, I will get more returns. Then I will get Ananda. They are explaining about that Ananda, right?
Yes, they are explaining about that Ananda.
That means the Panchabhuta related Ananda only, this one.
Everything is Panchabhuta related only. There are only two things which are real. One is Purusha and one is Prakriti.
Yeah, but here, when you go to deep sleep, then that Ananda is different. That is not this.
No, that is again same. That is what we looked at 208.
Yeah, see, in that deep sleep, this is dissolved, right? Prapancha is dissolved. Then how it is related?
Prapancha is dissolved is your Manomaya Kosha and the Vijnanamaya Kosha are not there.
2088 it says, like that.
You see there, Anandamaya Kosha.
Yeah, Sushupti.
This is complete ignorance.
That means completely the Prakriti is not dissolved there. Some Vasana is there still. Vasana is there, correct?
Everything is there. You don't have the Vijnanamaya Kosha, that's all.
So the only what dissolved is Vijnanamaya Kosha.
Because Vijnanamaya Kosha dissolved, it also dissolved Manomaya Kosha, it also dissolved all the...
Yeah, but my question is, in that case, if you, during before going to sleep, if you are very heavy emotional mind due to some reasons that day, somebody close relative expired. So in Anandamaya Kosha, you are not getting that negative feeling. You are just Ananda only.
In where?
In your Sushupti, deep sleep.
Yes, Sushupti, the deep sleep experience what you have is coming from Anandamaya Kosha. But that is part of tamas. That's not part of...
What is tamas? That deep sleep is tamas?
Yes, the deep sleep itself is tamas. That is where avidya lies.
But our discussion so far was that real experience in the deep sleep, because nothing you remember, everything is dissolved. When nothingness is there, you are happy. Next day morning, your battery is fully charged.
Correct.
This is what we have used.
Correct.
If tamas means excess sleep, right? Because you are lazy.
No.
But the minimum sleep what you need is not tamas.
No. I think you have misunderstood. Initially, you have to go by that, and then later you have to negate it. That is how Vedanta works. Otherwise, the mind is...
we are okay. Now we are negating the same thing, right? Then it's okay.
Yes, so...
Then it's okay.
Neti. See, first if you negate it, then it becomes very much difficult for the mind. So first you have to cajole it, saying that yeah, correct, yeah. And then ultimately remove it. Now that we don't have Vijnanamaya Kosha, it's easy to see what the reality is.
So this Anandamaya Kosha, deep sleep, Sushupti is Anandamaya Kosha. So this Anandamaya Kosha during your Jagrata Avastha also can come, right?
No, that is what it is said. The Jagrata Avastha is dependent on your 5 senses, what it picks up. So it says, Shushaptau Spurtihi Utkata. It's fully manifested in the deep sleep, Ananda. But that Ananda and the real Ananda are two different things. They are not the same.
The Ananda, what we get from Panchabhutas in Jagrata Avastha Ananda, that is happiness. So, through spirituality, what is coming is a bliss. And in the deep sleep, what we get is what?
The deep sleep, what you get is avidya.
Avidya related Ananda.
Avidya related Ananda. You are ignorant of everything what is happening.
Ignorant, like a small kid. That deep sleep and this sleep, no difference, right?
Yes,
that is Avidya.
Exactly. Okay. So now when the child is born, first day, it has come from hospital. It has no idea that it was staying in the hospital, or it has no idea that it was staying in the womb. That is what the Ananda we get every night, which is itself ignorance, avidya.
So when the child smiles, initial, maybe in the second or third month it starts smiling, that is also Ananda, right? But it doesn't know that why it smiles, but it smiles.
Yes, it is smiling based upon its own experiences, which is coming in the dream state. It is in a waking dream.
Correct.
So it doesn't know why it is smiling, and then it starts crying. It doesn't know why it is crying. So, 3 states, if you see, the third state, Shushupti, you have no experience because the Vijnanamaya Kosha not being there, Manomaya Kosha not being there, nothing is experienced.
Yes.
Okay, and the person feels refreshed after getting up because the tamas, here the tamas need not be taken as negative. The tamas also has Ananda as its core.
Yeah, one more question here. In our Laukika, what happens? See, when you are in a normal mood, you may get sound sleep for, say, 7 hours, for example. But when you are very stressed, you will not get even more than 2-3 hours sleep. Yes, suddenly that comes out.
Yeah, because
You are coming out of that. And what made in the Sushupti to come out? Because you are in Sushupti already.
No. See that I think you have to then go. We have to then go back to 207, and you go to the 4th line. Sarva nandati yatra sadhu tanu brit matraha prayatnam vina. You are not putting any effort. But the 3rd one says it is punyasya anubhave vibhati kritinam ananda rupaha swayam. The state of happiness is part of punya. What if it is papa? The same 5 elements will now seem to appear in a different way. Let us say I lost my job.
Yes.
And I am having around 1 crore to pay as loan. Okay, so I was earning, let us say, around 30 lakh per annum.
Yes.
So I have taken a loan for 1 crore, and that 1 crore I need to pay at least 50,000+ rupees as EMI. And today the company said that you don't have to come from tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, this is happening due to punya or papa? Papa. Now when papa happens, what should happen to Ananda? That's the reason that information has gone into the subconscious mind in the morning, and he has been I have been constantly thinking what to do about the EMI. How should I go home and inform that I don't have a job, I have to apply. Many things are happening.
Yes.
Now I'm not happy with eating also because my mind is roaming around. How should I now find the money? Anyway, I have the money for a few more months to come, but if I don't get a job in next few months, what is that it is going to happen?
Yes.
Okay, so with that I go to sleep. Now that initial sleep has come due to tiredness.
Yes.
After that, what happens?
When you are about to get relaxed, subconscious mind
Triggers the pain. So I get up.
It pains. That is dukkha.
And that dukkha is coming because of apunya.
Right.
So the same 5 elements.
Yeah, I got it.
Even when you get promotion, you will not get sleep.
That is also okay. I think you think that example last day, you think that you should go and sleep nicely, but you don't get sleep next day.
You don't get a sleep. You can see with the students, when they finish their exam, they will never get sleep.
Yes.
And when they get their result, they cannot sleep. Why? Because too much of excitement will remove that punya itself.
You're right.
So it is something to do with the mind, which is the intellect. The problem is with the intellect.
Atanka, Anumana, and all these will create problem.
Yes. So now I am very happy that happiness, Ananda, is already secreted, right? Now there is no sleep because Ananda is already gone. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to celebrate. And for the celebration, my mind is overworking.
Yes.
Now I have to call my friends, I have to call family members, this, that, so many things. I have to say that, look, let us look it this way. I wanted to do MS in the US. Let us say I want to do it in Stanford University. And I got it in Stanford University. What's going to happen?
No sleep.
No sleep. Okay. Then I did my MS in Stanford University, but I got a gold medal also along with that. And 5 offers are there for me to join with H1B visa, and they're ready to fund. They're also saying that I can get this green card and all that. Now you look at the state of that intellect. And this other side is also true. I wanted to get in Stanford, I could not get. I got in some lousy university. Then that university is not good. I am not able to pass, and MS is not happening. Then I'm spending my money. There is nothing I learned out of it. I'm not getting a job. I don't want to work in India, and I'm in pain. Both states are the same.
Yes, because you're comparing now.
No. The excitement which is there.
Yeah, excitement comes. Yeah, correct. In the comparison, yes.
Excitement will remove the sleep.
That is true.
And because excitement, if you remove excitement from both dukkha and sukha, you are in Vidya. The same Ananda comes all the time.
Yes.
So what Krishna also says is that remove this polarity, sukha, dukkha, labha, jaya. If you remove, the swabhava is itself blissful. You don't have to create a bliss.
So you have to use the word prarabdha and daivaicha. Correct?
Correct.
Then me is not there in that.
There's no me in that.
So when dukkha comes, the power what it comes, that is from willpower.
Yes. Now that yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No. Willpower is already there inside. The willpower is earned, right? It is not because of again punya or papa.
No. Willpower is just willpower. Where you want to use it, it is left to you.
It is there.
It is there.
So to use the willpower, you have to have a balanced mind.
Yes. And then leave that willpower as it is, because that is what is called as Brahman. So now we are going to go to that next.
Say again, Brahman and willpower.
First you use the willpower, you don't know.
Yeah.
That is ignorance. That is the least of the ignorance, meaning the subtlest of the ignorance. That you have something called as willpower.
Yeah.
Then when you get complete Vidya, you are the power. There is nothing called as willpower.
Correct. So this willpower, only one question here. So willpower will come to those people who are very strong. Means mentally they are very strong. Which means they are always on dharma side. That they don't do any other dharma. Then willpower will come down. Is it right?
No, it seems to be the case, but what really happens is that with lot of clarity, they themselves is the will. There is no other willpower than they themselves.
Okay, let me use it this way. To unlock the willpower, you should be very strong in your mind.
Correct.
Strong mind is nothing but you have not done anything unethical.
That is correct. But see, the thing is, again, we have come back to the punya apunya, which is part of Anandamaya Kosha. And in this kosha, the blissful experience is also part of willpower. Willpower has that blissful making things in a way it should be, is what that willpower is all about. Something is deprived, you will do something about it, right?
Yes.
And in anything we do, right from going on the road is blocked, you take another road. So you use your will, which is nothing but discretion, viveka, and you take.
So will is viveka?
Will ultimately leads to viveka. You are discriminating with what should be done and what should not be done. That is where you are using your will. The completed will, meaning when you total purest will is understanding Anitya and Nitya. Where you have to use the will only, right? What else will you use?
Yeah, we generally use the word now when somebody is already have gone through very tough time, and they are, their willpower, because of willpower, they are able to come back with the full energy, full power, and they are able to prove.
Correct. That is
what we talk.
Yeah, that is a language way of putting it, because we don't know how it happened. But actually, what
sometimes happens in a family, earning member is died. Then somebody within the family, they fully use their willpower to come back, and they shine like anything.
That shining like anything is happening due to punya. You need to understand that. It's a everybody puts their will, right? Show me one person.
But coming back to that level, that effort with that energy from within, that unlocking that energy and using it, that is will, correct?
No, that is will, but the output is not. The
output is yes, out of Papa Punya. Yeah, even with your willpower, there is no guarantee that you will succeed.
Exactly. So that is what we need to see. We need to see that it has got nothing.
So if I get sound sleep in the night, that is also a part of my punya.
Yes, sound sleep, undisturbed sleep, undisturbed emotions, all that is part of your punya. So
okay, I think good discussion.
So when we go to the purnatva of the will, that is called as Viveka.
Purnatva.
Yeah, Lata, go ahead.
One question. So the bliss when we get during those meditation, that's also due to punya?
Yes, that's also due to punya. But that is a different. So now we have to go beyond this and then understand that. Meditative experiences will make things transparent. But the getting into meditation is due to punya.
Okay, because we are able to get the reason we are able to get into meditation is because of punya. And the bliss anyway naturally is, so it comes. It's nothing related to punya.
That one is not anything to do with punya. But
okay, so
see, I'll tell you, Lata, like this. Now let us say so many people in this pandemic have lost their jobs. So many people, and so many people have got hospitalized. All their earning is gone to the hospital.
Yes.
Now that has come out of the papa phala, right? So even if they want to meditate today, they cannot. Right?
Yeah, correct. The mind is disturbed totally.
At the same time, there are so many people who have got promoted and who have got exceedingly high salary. But they also cannot meditate.
Yes.
Even though they have got punya phala. To get into meditation itself, you require a punya. So if you have got that, then it will remove the polarity. Even if you don't have a job, you will meditate. If you have a job also, you will meditate.
Correct. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. This one, getting into the spiritual awakening, requires a different kind of punya. It is not something to do with laukika punya. This is beyond the loka, which is alaukika. So this punya is different than the usual punya. So we are supposed to go to that in the other section after this. So we skip the whole section now.
Okay, fine. So then let's hold that question. So we go later.
Yes. No, but the thing is, for both you require punya. This is a laukika punya, which is 5 elements.
Yeah. So laukika punya means whatever you get will be the material things here.
Material in the sense of 5 elements. It's only 5 elemental experiences.
Yeah. So the other one is alaukika. The different one, different kind of punya.
So what is the difference there? There is no 5 element. There you have transcended the rupa. You are now getting into arupa.
Yeah.
That is alaukika. So that, to get into that, you also require that punya, because your mind should be established like that, meaning using the mind, you are then going to remove the intellect, and then you are that.
Correct.
So now what we did is that we came onto the Laukika front to remove all of this dirt. Now we have to remove the dirt even on the Alaukika plane of existence. Then
Yeah, okay. So first we have to remove there, then we can go there.
yes,
The Arupa.
yes. First you have to remove the Rupa. This is itself is so difficult. We are so used to Rupa.
Correct.
So the practice here is that when we see someone, we should see 5 element only. Because that is where the enjoyment is coming, or the depression is also coming. Sorrow and happiness are both related to 5 elements only.
Yep.
So when we start our office work, the laptop is a 5 element, the person who is talking is a 5 element, the project what we are dealing with is again a 5 element, the product what we are supposed to deliver is again a 5 element, the relationship what we have set as husband, wife, son, daughter, this, that is again 5 element, bank is also 5 element, roads are 5 elements, so everything is 5 element. This is what is called as Laukika. So first we have to get rid of this right now. Then that bliss comes. That bliss, he says, is punya. This you are experiencing because of punya, which is Anandamaya Kosha. He says that this is not the self. You are highly mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct.
Now having understood that this is also not self, then we have to come into what is self. Okay. So that's the reason yesterday I said, since the intellect went away yesterday, so we all are in moksha. 9:22 a.m. as of 6 September, 4 of us are in moksha. Because the mind, now there is no intellect. There is nothing to intellectualize.
Yeah, so whatever we are doing now, this satsang, and this is alaukika or laukika? This is laukika only, right?
This is mixture. Mishrana of both laukika and alaukika. There is a good amount of alaukika also. So when your impressions are getting cleared, that is alaukika. When confusion is arising, that is laukika. Simple. And another way of looking at it, when you have more number of questions, it can be laukika or alaukika. If there are no questions at all, that also can be laukika or alaukika. Let us say, if you don't have a single question and it just passes through, and you feel, wow, now I got it, that is alaukika. Ignorance, tamas, I did not understand anything, but I don't know how to ask. Because then the mana comes in between, vanity. Vanity is part of intellect. That's a very subtlest of the intellect, ahankara. So it will say that, I don't know what is he saying, but let me park that question later. That's again part of tamoguna. So as we go deeper and deeper and deeper, the person himself or herself have to evaluate. The guru or whatever, the scripture cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, that is true. So you yourself has to do. There is no one who can do it for you.
Yes, and two, if I land up in confusion, I have to sort out my own confusion. No matter how much I ask the guru, tell me why is this way, that other way. It is only language, right?
Yeah, correct. But then at one point of time, it would bring clarity. But till the time, the questions will continue.
Can continue. And if you don't have intellect, where are the questions?
Yeah, then that is another problem.
That's another problem. So we are in that problem.
So we don't have any questions actually. We are in Ananda.
Either you are completely have understood, which means you are in Ananda already. Or you are in such an ignorance that nothing is going inside. Both are true. Okay. So he says here in the 210th verse, the only thing you can do is the witness is the only one you can keep, Sakshi. So that is Bodha Rupaha Avashishyate, through which only the knowledge of Absolute can be seen. So first we did all of this. Panchanam api koshanam nishedhe yuktitaha shrutehe tannishedha vadihi sakshi bodharupo pashishyate. So just make it as a witness. Don't do anything. Then you will move out of Anandamaya Kosha as well. So the summary here is 211. Yaha ayam atma swayam jyotihi panchakoshaha vilakshanaha avastha traya sakshi sat nirvikaraha niranjanaha sadanandaha saha vigneyaha swatmavena vipaschita. In this state, 211, you should be in arupa state of existence. Then only you can experience this. Especially this verse, 211. This Atma or the self is self-effulgent. It's Swayam Jyoti. It is distinct from 5 sheaths. It's a witness to the 3 states. That is waking, sleep and deep sleep. It is real, free from all modifications and blemish. It should be realized as bliss everlasting by the wise man as his own self. Yeah, but you had a question.
So this shloka says self-illuminated and different from Panchakosha.
Correct.
And Sakshi for 3 avastha. That correct. Is Nidra and Jagrata and Swapna.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and for that Sakshi. And there is no Vikara.
Correct.
And he is Nirlipta. And he is Sadananda.
Yes.
Sadananda Swarupa.
Correct. Now that you can...
That is Atma. So this is the definition of Atma, right?
Yes. Sadanandaha sa vigneya. That you consider as Swatma. Swa-Atma.
So Atma. So Atma is Sakshi for 3.
All the 3?
Sakshi for 3 means...
Yes.
That is 3 avastha. That means there is no mind in this.
There is no mind in that, there is no intellect in that also.
No mind, no intellect, only Sakshi Rupa.
Correct.
And Sakshi is purely experiential. It cannot be explained, right, Sakshi?
No, nothing can be explained.
Because Sakshi is one word is continuously coming. The witnesser.
Correct.
So, witnesser means no mind in this.
No mind.
Because we always think witness means mind.
No, mind means no. Sorry, Sakshi means no mind, no intellect. Don't miss the intellect.
And without Sakshi, there is no 3 avastha also. Sakshi is required for 3 avastha.
No. Without Sakshi, the 3 avastha is there, but that is ignorance. Right now we are in ignorance. What is ignorance is when I wake up, the wife comes and gives me a bed tea. Then my son goes to college. Now I am working for so and so company. I am hungry, I am eating so and so, and I am wearing this kind of dress. I am doing this puja. I am doing that one. I am having my bank account in so and so. All these are part of Jagrata Avastha, but that itself is an ignorance. There is no Sakshi there.
1 minute. Sakshi is there all the time, right? That is my understanding, because Atma is there all the time.
That is correct, but what has covered up is the tamas, right?
Huh.
Now this is taking you out of tamas itself. This Sakshi and the Sakshi, what we talk, are two different things. Here, I, the witness.
Can you tell me what is that Sakshi? What is this Sakshi you are talking about?
Okay, this Sakshi, what we are talking, the Laukika Sakshi is I, the witness.
Correct.
Okay, that means it is Vilas, the witness, in the waking state, in the dream state, and the deep sleep state. Correct. So I call that as my Atma. What Shankaracharya is referring here is not that. It is universal self as Sakshi.
See, for me, I know that I am aged. From age 10, 20, 30, like that, I am witnessing. That Sakshi is what? Laukika or Alaukika?
That is Laukika. See, the moment you say you say you are aging, is itself shows that you are in ignorance.
Yes.
Because your body is aging, you are not aging, right?
So that Sakshi, Laukika Sakshi is through my mind.
Through your mind. So what is removal of the mind? Removal of the mind is that you don't own this body at all, because you don't have anything to own there.
Correct. Everything is gone. There is nothing. Even time is also not there. Dissolved.
Exactly.
Everything.
That is
and witnessing that Sakshi is this Atma, right?
There is no this Atma, it is just Atma. Now this is very subtle. See, now this Atma means your Atma. Your Atma is...
My Atma is all pervading, or it's limited to my body?
No, it is all pervading, but you think it is limited to your body.
If that is so, if it's all, there is nothing called my Atma, it is just Atma.
Correct.
Because what is there Atma in you, me, or anywhere, in animals, anywhere? It is same Atma.
Correct.
Brahman.
Correct. Correct. Very correct. And that is what he says, Yaha ayam Atma. He doesn't say Yaha Mam Atma. He says Ayam Atma, this Atma. Swayam
Ayam Atma. Yeah, it is there in Taittiriya Upanishad. Ayam Atma.
Yes, if it is mine, what it should be? Yaha Mam Atma. This my Atma is Swayam Jyoti. So the difference between ignorance and Vidya is, the ignorance says that I have an Atma inside. And the Vidya is, you don't have an Atma, there's nothing called your Atma, it is just an Atma which is self in everything. And it has got nothing to do with the 5 sheath and 3 states and the modification. Niranjanaha. Anjana means the black color what they put to the eyes. So that there's nothing to have any blemish. So, and it's because of that it is always Sadananda. So 2 states.
I just Anandamaya Kosha, I will explain Taittiriya Upanishad. Then you can give me some meaning of that.
Sure.
After that, this Sakshi comes, right? I don't know. Do we have time?
Yeah.
Some 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I will just whatever I studied, I will try to chant here again. This Taittiriya Upanishad about Anandamaya Kosha. Brahmana Pratipadana. Asanneva sabhavati asad brahmeti veda chet asti brahmeti chet veda santamenam tato viduriti tasyaisha eva sharira atma yapurvasya atato no prajna aha puta vidvanamam lokam pretya kachana gacchati aho vidvanamam lokam pretya kachit samashnuta so kamayata bahusyam praja yeti satapo tapyata satapastaptva idagam sarvamasrajata yadidam kincha tatsriptva tadevanupravishat tadanupravishya satyacha bhavat niruktancha niruktancha nilayanancha nilayanancha vijnanam cha vijnanancha satyam chandраtancha satyam abhavat yadidam kincha tat satyamittya chakshate tadapyesha shloko bhavati. This is Anandamaya Kosha.
So this we can take it as a total subject tomorrow. We have exactly 4 minutes. Yeah, it is very nice. Very good chanting. That's the first thing I wanted to say, forgot. Yeah, so where is the difference? That is correct only, right?
So there is something which observes our thoughts, right? And there is also something which observes the way we take decisions or what decision you take. So that which observes all this
In
is
all.
the Sakshi.
In all is the Sakshi.
In all, correct. In all is the Sakshi.
Correct. And it is always a Sakshi.
And it's always the Sakshi. It is always there, ever present throughout.
Yes. It doesn't matter who.
Only we don't recognize.
Because of the intellect, you don't recognize it.
Intellect is, but actually if you really observe, you even that Sakshi observe the intellect.
Yes, it observes everything in everyone.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is we can experience it actually. If you are a little bit sit quietly and then contemplate, then you can experience it.
Correct. Absolutely.
The way the intellect arrives at a decision, you can watch it.
Yes. See, the thing is, like what he just now rendered, a very nice one, is that one is there everywhere as though it is in an individual form.
Right.
And intellect is very closely attached to that.
Yes.
So that is when the I comes into existence. So it seems like the job of that consciousness, instead of being a Sakshi, it seems like it is doing it.
Correct.
Okay, so you become what you think. So it keeps on making that possible.
Yeah. That is a very, what you feel is what you understand, and what you understand is what you feel.
Yes. So
I heard it from your video.
yes. So that is exactly what it keeps on doing to you. So
that we can observe in the daily scenarios, right? So somebody says something, each person takes in a different way. Somebody may feel bad about it, somebody may feel good about it. Anything you do in the organization also, some set of people will view it positively and another set of people view it negatively. So whatever you understand, you feel, and what you feel, you understand.
Correct. That is how the consciousness plays the drama.
Yeah.
So when the intellect understands something, it makes sure that it understands.
Yes.
So if I say that there is nothing called as God, I will immediately experience there is no God. And for and for another person, if he feels that there is God, he will feel God. And both are wrong. Both are in avidya only. But the consciousness has got no avidya. It just gives you what you want. You want this? Okay, take it.
It already knows.
It already knows. So it just keeps on giving what you want. And the intellect then gives to the mind. So mind feels, this is this. This is that. It keeps on keeping it. Like one bee trying to keep the nectar in its wherever beehive, the mind keeps on keeping this that into its beehive for future use.
Future enjoyment also. Then you can think about it and again feel happy about it.
Yes. So now I'm in an airport waiting for the flight. I don't know what to do. Now I can pick up that from that beehive and start enjoying.
Right. Or painful something and then have a pain.
Whichever. So that experience of pain and pleasure is through this Atma, which is universal. You want it, you'll get it. So let us say I am wanting pain. Here is the pain. It doesn't know that you wanted pain. You want it, take it. No, I don't want pain. I want pleasure. Okay, take it. Because it is giving out of the 5 elements only. So the Ananda what is coming is 5 elements. But the real Ananda has got no 5 elements. It always exists and it always existed. But when taken as an individual, I am an individual Atma. Then the problem starts, because that is the one which requires mukti now.
Because it is limited. You feel it is limited.
The limitation is not there. It's the avidya which makes it limited. In reality, there is no limitation. But it considers itself as a limited entity. Then problem comes. If nobody is there, there is no 5 koshas and there is no Atma also, then who exists? So then mind comes back with intellect. So the person starts to believe that this philosophy is wrong. There should be somebody who is going to be there. Who is that I? So he again starts searching. So everybody ends up being in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. They get stuck there. So only that person who lets go of that both Anandamaya Kosha and the Vijnanamaya Kosha will achieve the final. Because then there is no person there. But that shloka number is what?
You are talking about
The Taittiriya Upanishad.
Taittiriya Upanishad.
Shikshavali,
There is, it is Brahmanandavalli. It says initially Upanishad Sara, then Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha. Annamaya, that day I once just
yes, you had said that.
I had that chanting. Then Pranamaya, then Manomaya, then Vijnanamaya. Today Anandamaya, because you use the word Brahman, I suddenly remembered that sloka. That is what it is. After that, there is 2 more. Maybe you can explain us. Abhaya Pratishtha, Abhaya, then Brahmananda Mimamsa. That it ends.
Right.
Then after that, you have Bhriguvalli. In Bhriguvalli, you have Brahma Jinyasa, Annam Parijnanam, Prano Brahmeti Parijnanam, Mano Brahmeti Parijnanam, Vijnanam Brahmeti, Anando Brahmeti. Yeah, this Ananda Brahmeti is also very nice. It says Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat Anandadyeva Khalvimani Bhutani Jayante Anande Najatani Jivanti Anandam Prayantyabi Samshriti Saisha Bhargaviva Varun Vidya Paramevyo Mantratishtat Ya Evam Veda Pratitishthati Annavanan Nado Bhavati Mahan Bhavati Prajaya Pashur Brahma Varchasena Mahan Kirtya. That is Ananda Brahma. Next it goes Anna Brahma Pasana. Ananda, after that Sadachara Pradarshana, Brahma Nanda Anubhava, Brahmananda Anubhava. That is what you are going to cover next.
Yeah.
But if you can give this meaning of this one, Brahmananda, everybody in Taittiriya Upanishad, the last stage, it is Samagana comes, when Ananda comes, naturally.
Correct.
That time they say that you have reached the peak of Taittiriya Upanishad. That is Samaveda, exactly. Some 3-4 things are there.
Correct.
If you are going to give along with this Taittiriya, this our Vivekachudamani meaning for this, it will be very strong for us.
Okay.
Because generally reading meaning may be okay, it's possible, but if you relate and understand, it will be very strong. Nididhyasana.
Nididhyasana is anyway there. The next subject is only that. So what we can do, but is that we will keep this for now.
Yeah.
We'll finish that and come back to this.
Okay, fine.
So because most of what you are asking will be answered when we go there.
Yeah. Yes. This is the basic foundation, then come back and see that. This is maybe little high level, this Veda part.
Correct. Okay, so then we meet tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye, Padma Shri.